You're watching #Poolguys Unfiltered, where we dive deep into all of your pool and spa related questions. Please contact us by social media or our website. We'd love to answer all your questions and get them on our episode. Now, I'm Justin with American Pool and Spa in Richmond, Kentucky, and on this episode, I'm with Noel Valade from Illinois. So, Noel Valade, I am so sorry. I keep butchering his name, and I apologize. Man, what is that, Greek or Italian?
It's Greek, and it's pronounced, well, it's actually French-Canadian, and it's pronounced Valade, Noel Valade.
Noel Valade. Well, I apologize, man.
It's all right.
It's trying to get that down. But man, I appreciate you coming, visiting us. This is awesome. Noel and I met at Thursday Pools in Indiana. We were at a conference there, and we were sharing a lot of stories and a lot of things on how we build pools. So we thought it'd be great for him to come on, visit. We're helping one another, and that's what I think the pool industry is all about. But we wanted to dive deep into asking him some questions about how he runs his business, how he does things. So Noel, where exactly are you guys in Illinois?
Yeah, so we're based out of Mahomet, Illinois, which is central Illinois, but our main area is Champaign, Urbana, Mahomet, and Decatur market, or all central Illinois. We've been as far as Springfield, down into Effingham, Shelbyville, so basically all the central corridor there for Illinois.
Awesome. So what is your all's business all based off of? You guys got a retail store? You guys do in-grounds, above ground? What are you guys all about?
Yeah, so basically what we do is, I've been doing it for about 23, 24 years. I got into it in '94, back in Michigan actually. And so what we do is we do above ground installs, sales, and service. We service hot tubs, we sell hot tubs, and basically our main business is in-ground vinyl or fiberglass, more of a custom type builder. So we'll come out and do a generic or a random pool that's going to be in that standard pool, and then we usually, where we excel at is, with my experience, is doing a custom pool like tanning ledges or something like that in the vinyl market, or just doing more features, water features, and things of that nature.
That's awesome, man. I forget, did you say you do have a retail store, or you don't?
No,
You're a main focus builder though,
Yeah, we're a main builder
and in
service center.
20-some years, he's built up a heck of a reputation, How many, from what we hear from distributors to, all over, how many employees do you guys have?
Well, it's always me on the job, so we oversee everything, and then generally we go between 3 to 7 employees based on what we're doing. I usually have 2 full-time guys with me at all time for sure that we keep throughout the year.
That's awesome, man. So, so the great thing, if anyone's hiring you, you're on the job, you're working.
I'm a hands-on owner, operator type thing. So yeah, I'm definitely out there almost every day for sure.
That's awesome. So as far as in your area, how many pools a year do you guys install?
Well, like I say, we're more of a custom, so we do anywhere between 3 to 7 on average per year, depending on what we're doing and the size of the projects. We've been involved in some projects that can take 2 or 3 months.
Oh, wow.
And we don't stay on that job because we do service and stuff, but we try to stay on, if we're in a big project like that, we're going to stay there 3 to 4 days a week and then come back and do service and other things, do service calls and things of that nature, diversify.
That's awesome. So on average in your area, what is the average pool price for a swimming pool?
I would say for an in-ground, you're going to be between like 55 and 75,000 is a target range where most people want to be in.
Wow. So comparison to our area, it ranges a lot lower than that, believe it or not. It can be anywhere from, there's some people out there trying to put a pool in from 25,000, but I would say the most consistent that we have would be 35,000 on up to your 45, 50 range. A lot of ours, we try to be like you as far as custom, and do anything from your $45,000, $50,000, $60,000 pool up there, and we'll get to more of that in details here.
Justin, I think probably the big difference there is in central. Well, the mid-state area, the Midwest, basically, which would be like Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, some in the Wisconsin, Idaho and stuff. That's where that area is huge in auto covers. Which is retractable auto cover. So you're going to add anywhere between, depending on the size of the pool, between $5,000 to $16,000, and that's where you're creeping from that 55. You easily can jump up to that $70,000 mark.
What's an average price range for an auto cover in your area?
You know,
See, ours is like 13 to 16,000, give or take, you know, depending on the size of the pool.
Yeah.
I mean, in your all's area is about the same?
Yeah, so, you know, in the Midwest, I don't know what kind of lots we have down here because we haven't been around and seen a lot of the actual sizes or anything, but in the Midwest, we tend to have bigger lots, you know what I mean? So with that, you're going to generally have a bigger cover. So I would say the average pool in our area is a 1632 on a small side. Your medium is going to be at 1832, 1836.
Gotcha.
And then a 20 by 40, and some custom pools can get larger. So that cover price, but I would say you're going to be between that 9 and 16, depending on if, you know, your options that you can go with, and as you know, there's tons of options.
And that jacks the price right there,
Easy,
you know.
It's an easy 10, 12 grand.
Wow, so that, I mean, that's an interesting thing to hear, though, is what in one area some pools can go for versus in other areas, you know. That's a good way to point that out. So, man, what's one of the biggest things about building pools? You've been in this business for 20-some years. What do you love the most, or what do you enjoy? You know, why pools, man?
Yeah, you know, well, what I like to do is I like to see the dream or intuition come alive, and it's the same principles every job. You know, you got your plumbing, you do everything the same way. There are some variables that you might get, you know, based on the yard. Like down here, I know you probably run in the rock, or we don't run in the rock in Central.
A lot of limestone.
Right, exactly. So, you know, even in Michigan, we have like blue clay, which you can have rivers that flow through it. And
we got blue rock.
Yeah, blue rock. Yeah, no. So
hard to hammer through.
But I like the best is, you know, taking somebody's dream or intuition and bringing it through and seeing it's the same principles every job or the same thing, but it's not the monotony of working like in a factory.
Yeah, no, and that's one thing I have to say is in the word we always use, and always I give the shout out to my wife, she's an optometrist, is the vision. Vision is so important to the fact of being able to, like you said, sit down with that homeowner, and it's always great to hear and see what's in their head and what their vision is, to making sure we're on the same page, and then we make that happen. You know, that's one of the neatest things about that. So Noel, one thing I do want to dive into here is, and I'm going to ask this question, and we're going to roll on to this, to the fact, what separates you from the other pool builders in your area? Because if our customers and everybody out there listening to this heard you say you only do 5 to 7 pools maybe a year. Now, granted, I know you're wanting to be able to do a lot more different things and get more involved and grow your company even more, where, like you said, you do a lot of custom work, so sometimes you only can limit yourself, but if you wanted to, you could do, you know, 20 or 30. But what do you think as a builder, though, is separating you from a lot of guys out there?
Well, like the main thing you touched on earlier is where I'm on the job every time, you know, all day, every day, I'm out in the field. The other thing is we're more of a custom builder, so we tend to focus on hydraulics. You know, what I tell customers is hydraulics, which is your plumbing, is basically like your cardiovascular system. You know, so if the plumbing's not right, if your heart's not working right, things like that, you know what I mean, then you're going to have problems, because once it's covered over the concrete, and if it's not done right, let's take like a specific water feature. You know, every water feature, whether it's as simple as a slide to a small waterfall that's only a foot, up to a 6 or 8 foot, or a huge grotto project, something like that, plumbing is everything. Exactly.
I'm holding plumbing to show a quick example. Now, you've told me this is something I'm kind of impressed by. What is, on average, most of your average pool builders out there will do 1.5 inches, maybe some out there doing 2 inches. A lot of yours is custom, as in you'll do 2 to 3 inch, maybe even 4 inch, depending on what you're doing.
Sure.
And that's even residential, not saying specific commercial, right?
Yeah. So, like on a big water feature, you will do, you know, a 5 horse or a 7.5 horsepower water feature pump. You're going to have a 6-inch intake and a 4-inch discharge.
Yeah.
So the pumps aren't made to push. They're made to pumps aren't made to suck, they're made to push water. So you want that water to get there as easy as possible, and then you reduce down on the pressure side, which is anything past the impeller. So you're right. You know, in our area, a lot of dealers are doing 2-inch suction, 2-inch return.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's the standard we hear a lot of on a lot of our pools, depending on what we're doing. We do that on ours.
Sure. So what we do.
So don't make fun of it too much.
No, it's fine. You know, I go way back in the day when I got into doing pools in '94. I actually took a lot of training through Pentair, Stay Right, Hayward, and Jandy, but for the most part I was a Stay Right dealer, and they got absorbed by Pentair, so I've just stuck with the Pentair brand, and training and things are real big on hydraulics, which is right up my alley in the way I think. So what we do there, knowing how pumps and how things work, we usually, for years, I'm going to say at least 10 or 12 years, we've been doing 2.5-inch suction and 2-inch return.
I don't know if, Stephen, we might be able to get this to show you on your left side, my right here. This is a 2-inch line right here. This is 1.5 inches. And I don't know if Stephen will you'll get a different video footage here, but this is the difference, to see the difference. What, to a lot of people, what even makes a difference on flow? Why does the going a lot larger make the flow better? What is that?
So basically what it is, the larger the pipe, the slower the water is going to move through that pipe. Okay, so as the water moves through the pipe slower, it creates less friction. So take example like a Corvette. Okay, so if you want to get on the highway and you want to punch that engine and go, you got a lot of resistance. You know, whether it's headwind or whatever have you, and you're going to burn gas mileage. That's, you know, the faster you go, the more gas mileage, the more cost is involved in moving faster.
Yep.
So the bigger pipe principle is this: the bigger the pipe, the slower the water is going to move through that pipe. So you can, you know, like in, for example, a variable speed, you can run it at a lower RPM because it doesn't have to work as hard because there's less friction.
Gotcha.
No friction.
Gotcha.
So that would be it. So that's really the difference between it, is the larger the pipe, the slower the water moves, the less friction, so you're going to get more GPM or more.
You know, it's funny, a lot of analogy, or different analogy I've heard too, is if you took, and here's the simplest one for folks at home, is if you take a McDonald's straw and a coffee straw, and, you know, see which,
who's going to win
and how you can suck faster, in the fact of the flow rate, and it kind of can make a difference. No, that's great information, man. And is there anything you want to shout out to any of your people in Illinois, you think, or anything you want to say?
So basically what we do, I said, I'm Noel Valade. I'm the vice president. My wife and I own Imperial Pools, and we cover all central Illinois. We'd be happy to come out and give you a quote or do something for you. We do vinyl liner, rectangle, custom, freeform, benches, tanning ledges, or we do fiberglass pools. And we'd be more than happy to come out and talk to you and take care of you.
And on that note, we want to give a quick shout out to Thursday Pools, because that's where we met. We're going to be at their training this year. They're coming out with the first beach entry, so we're excited about that. And with the Thursday Pools, like I said, that's the fiberglass we love and we enjoy installing. Like I said, they make a great product, so we're excited for that this season. But we really appreciate you guys. That's on this episode of #Poolguys Unfiltered. Once again, I'm Justin with American Pool and Spa in Richmond, Kentucky. Leave it to us. Just swim and relax.